this MIWA plan originated from the Virginia government to empower associations such as the Chamber of Commerce to seek solutions to the increase of healthcare costs that's rampant year after year and unsustainable by small business. And therefore, the governor signed into law this agreement allowing this multiple employer welfare account to be established, and the Chamber is one of the conduit to allow these small business owners to take advantage.
Audio Jungle.
Hello, and welcome to Business Focus, produced by the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. My name is Angela Inzarello with Impact Business Solutions, and I'm privileged to be your host as we highlight the great work our local businesses are doing. Well, if you're a first-time subscriber or first-time watching, please subscribe, like, share. We are sharing some great content and people on our channel, and we want more people to know about it, and we want to make you aware of it. So today, very special guests with us from Quest Insurance. We've got Sami and Barbie Hoffman here today to talk about a great program for insurance for businesses. So we want to talk all about that today, and we've got the experts in the room with us. Sami and Barbie, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Thanks for being
to you
here.
Very happy on stage.
Yeah. We are excited to have you. The program has been existing now for a while, so it's really good timing because things are changing. You've got your footing. So like I said, I'm really excited to share this opportunity with our small business world. So first of all, let's just talk about Quest Insurance. Sami, why don't you kick us off a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into the program and what you guys are doing.
I appreciate you. Thanks for this opportunity. Thanks for the Chamber. You're doing a great progress and great deeds for the small business. My name is Sami Satori. I'm the founder of Quest Insurance. Quest has started its journey back in 1992. We celebrated our 30th back in September of 22. And at that time, thank you so much. It's been a journey of ups and downs, but mostly ups. And a Assured partner came calling, and we decided to team up with them as being been acquired by Assured partner back in September 2022. It's been a wonderful journey, wonderful ride, 2 years. And Assured partner itself is in conversation and serious talks and final discussion about being acquired by Gallagher, which is one of the largest organizations in the country. So we are privileged and we are excited, and we're excited more to be of service to the Chamber and help you serve your own members. So the idea that came about with this MIWA plan originated from the Virginia government to empower associations such as the Chamber of Commerce to seek solutions to the increase of healthcare costs that's rampant year after year and unsustainable by small business. And therefore, the governor signed into law this agreement allowing this multiple employer welfare account to be established, and the Chamber is one of the conduit to allow these small business owners to take advantage. You do have to be a member of the Chamber to take advantage, but also you have to be under 50, 2 to 50 employees. Quest and the Chamber teamed that together, so we're lending our resources, knowledge, and staff, such as Barbie and other team members of hers, to do everything we can to serve your membership, guide them, enlighten them, and find solutions for them. To that end, Barbie is going to talk more about how wonderful this program is. One word of caution: it's not for everyone. So there are some guidelines that has to be obeyed, some underwriting requirement that has to be filled. So there are some questions that need to be asked. And at times, the initial rates we gave you may not be the final rates, which is based on final enrollment and medical conditions. In addition to the MIWA plan that we have in place offering to the different members, we offer an assortment of different risk management tools. And I beg and plead you with your members to take advantage of that. So as a small business owner myself, and as someone who is part of the SBA SCORE program, learned from it, graduated from it, and used it, it is mind-boggling how much things you don't know. If you don't know things, you end up learning the hard way. So we're here to clarify what you need as a business owners to avoid getting into traps. And to the extent you agree that we need to transfer that risk, we'll find a solution for you for the least costly and most effective way.
I think Sami covered every possible disclaimer possible for an insurance guy, and maybe even had some attorney in him. I'm just going to say that. But Sammy, you're absolutely right, right? We don't want to be disillusioned by this benefit. So
Right.
this is an offering for small businesses to get insurance. So many small businesses, and we see them. My husband and I are ourselves, right? We left corporate, our cushy job in corporate, right? What did we lose? Our health insurance. So there are very limited options that are feasible for small business owners and reasonably priced, right? So we could talk a little bit about kind of what some of the options are out there, but absolutely, when Wise Choice came down, this came down from the Virginia Chamber. Not every state is doing it.
Right.
It's again something that you guys can share more about the particulars with each individual company. So the Alliance program, Barbie, let's just go a little bit more into like the eligibility. Sammy mentioned 2 to 50. Is that right?
So you need to fall between 2 to 50, headquartered in Virginia, to qualify for the program and be a
So-
member of the
Correct. You
chamber.
have to be a member of the chamber. But you know what? The savings alone pays for membership. So,
Yes,
and
yes.
as you guys know, and most people out there, most chambers, most of our, 70+% have less than 10 employees, but
Yes.
certainly even a higher percentage have less than 50. So this isn't
Mhm.
ideal for most of our membership. But,
Mhm.
again, we're a community organization as well.
Mhm.
So a lot of people understand what the chamber does and could join just to participate. So there's a certain criteria, but do they have to have any kind of, is there obligations to fulfill to their employees relative to this program? Like for payments, is the payment made by the organization or is it paid by the individual?
So the payment is made by the company. So
Okay.
under Wise Choice, this is through the carrier that the program, the MIWA, is run under, is through Anthem, and it is. For those of you that aren't familiar, or maybe, Anthem is a very, very large network
Oh, yeah.
within the region, and certainly the state of Virginia. So when a organization chooses to enroll in the MIWA program, they then are provided coverage through Anthem, and then would be set up under the Anthem umbrella. So it's not each individual paying directly to Wise Choice or directly to the MIWA, if you will. You'll be set up through Anthem, invoiced by Anthem, and truly set up as a small group.
Okay.
Yeah.
As an individual.
Mhm.
So how could you compare it? So today, I think I mentioned too, my option were very limited, but we wound up going through the ACA. So why don't we talk a little bit about maybe some of the options and the pros and cons of this as well?
Go ahead, Sammy. You want to speak on that?
Yeah, so just piggybacking on the last point you made, Angela and
Mhm.
Barbie, excellent point about um, Anthem will mimic almost like a fully insured plan, even though
Mhm.
this is a MIWA plan, which is a self-insured and it has all the component of the self-insurance, reinsurance, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
Being a group employer, any group employer plan, when it's instigated, they have an agreement between the carrier, i.e., the MIWA here, and the employer that the employer has to make a contribution toward the employee,
Right.
and there will
Okay.
be
That's
minimum participation as well that needs to occur. So we minimize adverse selections. So there is a 75% participation that the carrier is looking for. So if you have 10 employees, they're looking for at least 7 or 8 employees to join. If you have coverage somewhere else, you will waive it. So that is a waiver, and that would not count. But if you don't and decide not to enroll, later on have a condition and say, oops, I have, God
right.
forbid, an oncology situation, you cannot come back into the plan because they'll collect $1,000 on you and spend 100,000. So that's the adverse selection
Right.
idea. The employer, in turn, has an agreement tacitly with the carrier when they fill out the form to contribute to the employee contribution for at least 50% of the employee rate. Only the employee, not the spouse or dependents. So
Okay.
now, the question is, and Barbie is very good with this stuff, and she'll get into more details. The difference between ACA and MIWA. What can't you go to the ACA and stay with the ACA? So obviously, every one of us have access to the marketplace,
Right.
off the exchange or on the exchange, and those benefits were mandated, have some mandated benefit by the federal government. And states where you sell the coverage that's state specific may have some additional coverage as well mandated. So by the time you're through, there are lots of things added in there that make the price a little bit high. The idea of and shackling the consumer and i.e. the employer from some of those with this MIWA plan, getting them outside the realm of the ACA in the hope of reducing cost will entail having some screening, the underwriting questionnaire that we talked about, Angela, a minute ago. So there are differences. Now, all the essential coverage that the ACA mandate are present in this. And it has very robust coverage and it has all the belts and whistles that you would think of. The biggest question, the biggest difference is that underwriting requirement that's up front.
Right.
And Barbie can tell you more about a couple of examples that we have. Barbie, back
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah. So, like Sami is saying, when we approach the time that a group would want to move forward with pursuing this, they would complete a census. Employee census would be their first step, and it's important to remember what we've seen on our end is that you have to complete the employee census for all those eligible and interested in enrolling in the plan. If we complete the census and one person is on the fence and we leave them off, but they enroll at the time the plan is implemented, the rates are going to be affected.
Of course. Yeah.
So because it's based on final enrollment. So we have the census completed. That goes back to Anthem for our illustrative rates, if you will. Then we come back with those and present those to the group or the client and say, here's what our illustrative rates look like. Are you interested in pursuing it? If the group is larger than 10, they'll complete a group questionnaire, meaning the owner or if they have someone managing their benefits, would just complete a screener to the best of their ability, of course. If they are a small group of 2, 3, 4, or 5, each employee would need to complete their own individual questionnaire. Then those questionnaires would come back to us here at the office. We would then submit those up to Anthem. And then that is when we would be presented with our final rates. So the final rates are based on the census we've given and either the group questionnaire, if they're large enough, I say 10 or more, or the individual questionnaires that the employees present.
Now you're talking a lot about this. I don't know. I know it's an easy process, but it seems like it's a difficult process. So is it really an easy process? It's just a bunch of steps.
That's a great question. So it compared to the ACA, it is not as simple, because if that let's say that chamber business owner came to me and said, Barbie, I have these 5 employees. I'd just like to receive a medical quote. All he or she would have to do is give me the dates of birth of his employees, and I could run a quote, right?
Okay.
The additional steps with that are included with the MIWA are he or she is really giving me a hard census, going to the employee saying, are you really interested in this? And then B, taking it a step further, handing out these questionnaires to his or her employees. So it is a bit more legwork, right, on both the employer and really on the quoting end, because we have more paperwork to handle and then get over to underwriting. But on the flip side, if the rates work out, then we're seeing that savings.
Yeah, labor, that is some labor, some investment. Also, because of the sensitivity sometimes of the medical condition, that's where Barbie comes in. So we can connect the employee to Barbie to get the employer out of the sort of known information that they may not be privileged to. And then that way make that seamless process. But biggest thing, Angela, is to understand is we're here to facilitate all that process and get the pain out. For this program to fly, the MIWA has to have enough members and good loss ratio for it to survive and continue. Historically, over the years, carrier were not very sanguine about MIWA. Why? Because typically the healthy one end up subsidizing the not very healthy, and the not the healthy one can always find solution elsewhere. Now with the ACA event, we're all in the same boat. The rates are going up quite a bit every year. And so this has now become a viable solution as long as we make sure that the member that we admit in initially, at least, their medical needs are not beyond what the MIWA can support. So particularly like in any tree or infant, the infancy stage are critical. So we
Right.
need to make sure the med loss is within bounds, and that's what we're
100%.
doing.
And I would imagine that this is just an awareness. I think a lot of organizations are not
Exactly.
even aware of it. What is it
Exactly.
your job? Is it your responsibility? Whose responsibility is it marketing this?
So we are teamed up. Charles and a couple of your the chamber people did a
Yep.
fantastic job. We
Yeah.
presented a few times, but still, this is the best kept secret, and
Yeah.
it takes a while. Business owners, this is the last thing of their mind. We came in and did a presentation in the month of November and December to make sure that's when the highest number of renewal happened. But these
Right.
kind of
Right.
podcasts are fantastic in making sure at least people are aware this exists. It may not be this year, maybe next year, but it takes a village, and it takes a little bit of time.
What about that enrollment? Is there a time period, or can, like, if I wanted to enroll now?
So Angela, the carrier expect a little bit of time to implement the plan.
Right.
We need a little bit of time to give them the information. They need a little bit of time to make a decision. So the time lag between the time we start getting the census, giving them rates, to the time of implementing the plan typically is about 45 days.
Okay. Okay.
The bottom line of all this is the carrier expect all the paperwork to be in
Yeah.
by the 15th of the month
Right.
prior to the effective date. Sometimes, we may be able a day or
Sure.
two past, but the more leeway we have, the better the people will get their cards on time, they're more comfortable, and so on and so forth.
Well, you guys are the experts, and that is why, someone can just give you a call and understand what the
Mhm.
process is, get it started, answer all the questions. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff done online that people could submit.
Yep.
So they could start the process. And then as new employees, because a lot of organizations are growing or coming to the area
Mhm.
and now residing in Virginia, that can take advantage of this. So,
Mhm.
so you guys are the experts. Again, thanks for being here. I'm going to put up a
Yeah, of
slide
course.
that's going to kind of show your contact information and the best way to ask questions. It might just be a bunch of Q&A. The chambers, I'll put the chambers website. We've got a pull down menu that talks about the Wise Choice program as well, some FAQs, which are great. But like I said, you're a broker, and we want to make sure that people call you. So we'll make sure
Mhm.
the information is there. So did I ask all the right questions? Anything else that's
And
missing?
Angela, just so to close in as an exception, I usually don't volunteer my cell phone, but I want to make an exception for our chamber members. So if they need to reach someone anytime, on hours, off hours, I'm here for them. So that's 703-626-1353. And in addition to what I mentioned, what Barbie does and helping with the MIWA, if any question comes up, present or past, about risk management, we'd love to indulge.
And I appreciate that. And if you wanted to put your Amex credit card out there as
Yeah.
well, the expiration date, I'm just
That's after a few
saying.
businesses comes in.
Kidding. I know Sammy can take it. Again, Barbie, Sammy, it's great to see you. Barbie, we
Yeah.
have not met. I know that
I know.
Sammy's been at the chamber talking
Yeah.
more about it. Sammy, just so you know, every Chamber 101, the second Wednesday of every month at the chamber, we do talk about this program. So anytime you want to
Thank you so
come and
much.
show that great face
Yeah.
smile of yours, we'd love to have you. But
Yeah.
Barbie, thank you. You guys
Yeah,
have
of
an
course.
office. You said in Chantilly. Is that where you are today?
We're in Chantilly, correct?
And
Yes.
that's where your office is. Great. And I know you said
Yeah.
there's some expansion going on and some growth, and we'll make sure
Yep.
people are aware of that too. But
Yeah.
fantastic having you. Thank you for
Yeah.
enlightening a very
Great to be here.
complex and
Yeah.
very important subject. So thanks for being
Yeah.
here.
And
Yeah.
Angela,
Thank
continue
you.
doing a good job. You did great. You made us
Yeah.
relaxed, fantastic information, and great interaction. So
Yeah.
kudos.
You're a good man. Thank you so much. We appreciate
Take
it.
care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
We look
Bye.
forward to seeing you next time on our next episode. In touch with us for future episodes. Like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.